3 weeks passed. The first week accomplished absolutely nothing. Captain Solène arrived on Everlight beneath a gray morning sky, her transport settling quietly among dozens of civilian shuttles arriving from across Reach territory. The settlement was exactly as intelligence described. Growing, orderly, hopeful. Workers filled the streets before sunrise. Builders argued over measurements. Scientists crossed paths with farmers. Children ran through gardens that had not existed a year ago. It was beautiful. There was only one problem. Sparkle Doom wasn't there. For 3 days she searched without drawing attention. She wandered markets, listened to conversations, visited public records, asked harmless questions disguised as casual curiosity. Eventually an elderly woman laughed at her confusion. "Oh, Champion Reach? They're on Unity, dear. Government business. They'll be back eventually." Government business, of course. Solène returned to her room above a small repair shop, spread a map across the table and quietly altered her plans. If the mission moved, she moved. 2 days later she boarded a civilian transport bound for Unity. She didn't know it then, but someone noticed. Prime Reach. Kenny Reach looked up from the report laid across his desk. "Read that last line again." The intelligence officer frowned. "Captain," he corrected himself. "Unknown female. Entered Everlight. Stayed 6 days. Booked civilian transport to Unity." Kenny leaned back. His expression remained calm. "Anything else?" "No crimes. No meetings. No known associates. No purchases outside basic travel supplies." Another pause. "But," Kenny smiled faintly. "But?" The officer nodded. "Our analysts believe she arrived looking for Sparkle Doom." Kenny looked out the palace window, toward the stars. They'd already left. "Yes, sir." And then she immediately followed them. "Yes." Silence settled. The Emperor tapped one finger thoughtfully against the armrest. "Run facial reconstruction. Cross-reference every military house we know. Anyone traveling under a false civilian identity?" The officer nodded. "It'll take time." Kenny smiled. "I've got some." It took less than 12 hours. The file returned. "Captain Solène. House unknown, confirmed officer, present during the Valcrest assault." Kenny read the report once, closed it, then stood. His advisor blinked. "Your Majesty?" "I'm going to Unity." The advisor looked confused. "What about today's council? Reschedule? The agricultural summit? They'll survive. The northern delegates?" "They can wait until tomorrow." The advisor finally asked the obvious question. "Why?" Kenny folded the report. "Because an enemy captain just followed my daughters across 2 planets." A pause. "I'd like to know why." The remaining 2 weeks changed everything. Unity was impossible to hate. The settlement bustled with life. Government districts blended into neighborhood parks. Children played between administrative buildings. Council members stopped to help gardeners. Nothing felt forced. Everything simply worked. And somewhere inside all of it was Plum. Solène began watching from rooftops, at first because it was her mission. Later, because she genuinely wanted to know the woman she'd met during the battle. The reports became shorter, less useful. Commander Vare demanded weaknesses. She found kindness. Commander Vare demanded schedules. She found routine. Commander Vare demanded opportunities. She found excuses not to take them. She watched Plum buy 6 honey pastries. Keep 1, give 5 away. She watched Plum lose a practice duel to 15 children. On purpose, mostly. She watched Plum sit quietly beside Wuxi Square's memorial whenever nobody else was around. She watched Plum cry once. Only once. And only for a few seconds before smiling at the next child that walked past. Every report became harder to write. Every lie became easier. Every day made the assassination order feel more impossible. By the end of the 2nd week, she had stopped observing a target. She had started watching someone she admired. By the end of the third, she realized admiration had become something far more dangerous. That morning was clear, bright. Plum wandered through Unity's central district carrying 2 pastries and humming quietly to herself. Solène watched from the roof of a government archive building. Today she'd finally speak to her. No disguises, no lies, just honesty. She turned away from the ledge. A calm voice stopped her. Dangerous game. She froze. Playing with my girls. Slowly, very slowly, she turned around. Kenny Reach stood behind her, hands folded behind his back, black coat moving gently in the breeze, a relaxed smile on his face. He looked like he'd been standing there for several minutes. She hadn't heard a thing. Her hand instinctively moved toward the knife beneath her coat. Kenny raised an eyebrow. I wouldn't. She stopped. Not because he threatened her, because somehow she believed him. He stepped beside her and looked down toward Plum. Morning. Solène swallowed. Lord Reach. Captain Solène. No point pretending. You've mistaken me. He chuckled. No. Silence. I haven't. Another pause. I've actually been looking forward to meeting you. That confused her more than any threat could have. How long have you known? Kenny looked out across Unity. The moment your shuttle entered Everlight. She blinked. You knew? Every ship entering Reach territory is logged. He shrugged. Your arrival wasn't unusual. Your departure was? She frowned. I don't understand. You landed on Everlight. Stayed less than a week. Then immediately traveled to Unity. He smiled knowingly. You weren't sightseeing. You were following somebody. Realization slowly crossed her face. So, you investigated. Kenny nodded. I had intelligence dig a little deeper. They worked out who Captain Solène was before you even unpacked your bags on Unity. Her shoulders dropped. You've been watching me. He smiled. Course. A pause. You were watching one of my girls. I figured it was only polite. Despite herself, she almost laughed. Kenny reached into his coat and produced a silver fruit. He cut it neatly in half, held one piece toward her. Dawn fruit? I've never tried one. I know. She accepted it. The fruit shimmered faintly in her hand. Warm, almost alive. Kenny lifted his half. To poor decisions, he took a bite. After only a moment's hesitation. So did she. Warmth spread through her body. Not physical warmth, something deeper. Something impossible. What? Kenny answered quietly. Special fruit from the mother tree. When shared willingly, it allows 2 people to understand one another. The world shifted. Memories poured through them both. Commander Vea. The orders. Earn Plum's trust. Kill her. Break Sparkle Doom. Kenny's sword appeared at Solène's throat in a blur. His expression became colder than she'd imagined possible. Then, more memories. Honey bread. Children. The statue. The ribbon. The crying. The reports she never sent. The night she whispered apologies to somebody who didn't even know she existed. The growing certainty she could never obey her orders. The sword slowly lowered. Kenny exhaled. Well? A long pause. I nearly made a mistake. Solène wiped tears from her face. I wasn't going to do it. I know. I wanted to tell her. I know. I don't belong with them anymore. I know. Silence settled between them. Below, Plum laughed as an apple rolled away from her. A child chased after it. Kenny smiled. You know, there's something you should understand about her. He rested both forearms on the rooftop ledge. My father, Lord Rain, left behind more than ruined worlds. His eyes drifted into old memories. After the 11th eclipse, after Reach had already been founded, Aaron Dawnfall came to us. He'd uncovered intelligence about one of my father's hidden lava tubes. Not what was inside, just where the entrance was. So, Pines and I went. He smiled faintly. Probably should have taken more people. Didn't. We wanted to move quietly. His voice lowered. When we entered, we found hundreds, maybe thousands, of mutation pods. They lined the walls of the lava tube, every single one containing one of my father's experiments. They were asleep. We still don't know why. Maybe luck, maybe timing. We never found out. Selene imagined it. Darkness, rows of silent pods, an army waiting beneath the earth. Kenny continued. My father controlled them through the mutation hive. He wasn't just their creator. He was the center of it. If we'd woken too many, we'd have died before reaching the entrance. He closed his eyes briefly. We wanted to save them all. But reality doesn't always care what you want. So, we chose one. The smallest pod. The closest one. He nodded toward Plum. Her. A smile returned. When we opened it, she bit Pines. Selene blinked. What? Straight on the finger. Pine swore for about 5 minutes. She scratched me. Tried climbing the cave wall. Absolutely feral. He chuckled. And she didn't have a single hair left. The mutation had destroyed her follicles. We weren't even sure they'd come back. He looked down at Plum again. Lyra spent months finding a cure. Not days. Months. Celine read stories to her. Aurora sat beside her. I snuck extra food in. Pines accepted his role as the designated chew toy. That earned the first genuine laugh Selene had made in weeks. Kenny smiled. When the dawn fruit treatment finally worked, her body regenerated. Lyra believed the mutation had altered the way Plum's pigment cells developed. The dawn fruit repaired the damage, but rebuilt the follicles differently. He pointed toward the unmistakable purple piggy buns below. That's not dye. That's her. Every strand. Lyra called it the dawn's fingerprint. A long silence followed. Kenny finally looked at Selene. That girl spent years believing she was a monster. So, his voice became gentle. If you choose her, choose her. Don't ever let her become somebody else's weapon again. Tears rolled freely down Selene's face. I won't. I believe you. They left the rooftop together. As they walked through Unity's streets, Selene finally asked, I thought you were on Prime Reach. I was. Then why are you here? Kenny laughed. You flew to Unity. I figured I'd follow. She stared. You followed me? Seemed easier. Another grin spread across his face. Besides, my own daughters don't even know I'm here. Selene blinked. They don't? Nope. I wanted to surprise them. He chuckled. Get to see my girls. Interrogate an enemy captain. Productive trip. She couldn't help smiling. You make this sound normal. After a while, it sort of becomes normal. Sparkle Doom headquarters stood ahead. Selene stopped walking. No. Kenny kept walking. Yes. I haven't planned anything. Good. I don't know what to say. The truth. What if she hates me? Kenny smiled warmly. Then she'll tell you. She's wonderfully honest like that. He gently nudged her shoulder. Come on. We're surprising my daughters. He pushed the door open. Aurora looked up first, then Ellie, then Mira. Finally Plum rolled off the couch. The room fell completely silent. Aurora blinked. Dad? Kenny smiled. Afternoon. Her eyes shifted to Selene. Why is there an enemy captain standing behind you? Kenny looked thoughtfully at Selene, then back at Aurora. Funny story. The room exploded.